Okay, so it's 3:30, and I've been up for, I don't know, less than an hour, maybe 45 minutes or something. I drank some tea. I feel um tired. It's so weird to feel tired but not feel, it's like you sleep but you don't ever feel rested. And then I don't even know, with whatever the sickness, yesterday I was trying to clean, or last night, we were in there cleaning up the kitchen before I go to bed. My nose is just pouring. It's like, and I was getting so frustrated. Is that I have to keep stopping, and I was having to blow my nose and blow my nose. I don't even know what today will be like. I feel like I've got some sort of a, it's weird because it's like having some sort of a flu but not having a temperature. Wait, another weird thing about that was I saw some woman yesterday, no, I think it was a couple days ago, and she was talking to the Starseed, that group. They always talk directly to each other. And then there's a lot of weird things with that. Because there was another thing too where I was seeing like, oh, maybe it was her video. No, I don't remember, but because there was a video that was talking about the star seeds and all them with their symptoms. And I think it was this one where it was the symptoms of bouts of nausea, which I had been saying I'd had, I think runny nose. I think something with, it was like all these things that I had. She was saying that that is like kind of like ascension symptoms, but not ascension symptoms. She said it's like things are about to change, and it's just our bodies changing or something. Where that's where I kept feeling like it's something to do with, as you raise your vibration, your energy changes, but your this place is still the same. So it's like, and then plus all of the poison that has an effect, and weather here too. Yeah, and there's like also yes, weird. Like if I go out and do something, then there will be weird things that will happen, but around the house, it's still like, Jesus Christ, everything I touch falls and stuff. So it's like some energy just following you around, knocking shit out of your hand all the time. So it's like this energy is around. And see, it doesn't have to do that when you're just miserable on your own. So I don't know. It's like, I feel like that there is this shadow energy or something around you, especially is for people who are raising their vibration and stuff, because they want to kick it back. They don't have to worry so much about the people who aren't. But the thing is that they can't change nothing. There's nothing they can change. So they can sit here and harass us. When it comes down to that, it's like they have to have an awareness to that. And it's like they're just feeding off of us for the last bit or something. And one thing I think is important through this stuff is to keep reminding yourself of the truth, because they're going to keep trying to make you doubt the truth. They're going to keep kind of making you feel like either you're crazy, nothing's going to change, you think way too like magical to think that we could live as free beings and all that stuff. So that's what they want to keep you trapped in, that limitation. It's like a limiting views of life. They want to keep you trapped there. And when you're trying to break free, you're battling them. And and they will do shit physically. I mean, they can't, I don't want to say can't, because there are probably some that would try and harass you and stuff. I mean, they fucking turn knives on you. So knives flying out all over the place. So they're always hoping one's going to land somewhere. But there was something else I was going to say. There's a whole bunch of little things. So I'm distracted. It's because there's something, it's like, that. And then I have to like register how far it goes. Because there was a bunch of little things. Like I just saw this one of a woman in North Carolina at the one of the dead spots. and she wanted to tell a miracle because she said, well, you know, I mean, there's miracles all over the place. And so, yeah, I want to share them because this place is magical and they would beat you down and have you completely die yourself. And, oh yeah, it was another thing with the spiritual people too, because there was another video too where I saw them talking to each other and they were saying, oh yeah, it was like they were saying, okay, so the woman was saying something like, to give yourself a break or to give them a break or give each other a break or something like that, because they're all facing a lot of really hard past life stuff right now. And, you know, I mean, this is the thing too. Like, but that's the other thing too, is you can't change time. I could come out here and tell everybody, but you can see, like, the account will be held back until time. It's all about timing. So it doesn't matter what your message is and what you're trying to say. And all these people, like, don't get frustrated because these people can't hear you. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about and stuff. I just saw another video of a woman talking about, I didn't watch the whole thing because I'm sure there's so many of these, because she ended a relationship in 2020 with, like, her best friend over all this stuff. She was talking too crazy. She was saying too much weird tinfoil stuff, tinfoil hat, so they went their ways. And now, I didn't listen to the whole thing, but you could tell. It's like, that's going to be what's going to be happening. And that is where they're going to go in and question themselves. Like, what the fuck? How did they see that? What the fuck? And it's going to be happening at all different stages of all different people. But there's going to be a big, like, all those things you see happening are going to be a big boom. Like, there's going to be a big wave of it. Like a tsunami. Like, everything is micro, macro. Expect a tsunami of energy that's going to go across humanity with a very strong wave that's going to knock shit down and take away shit. And that is, but it's going to create change. It's going to wash away a lot of stuff, but you don't see what it's washing away until a long time after. And some people in extreme loss won't see it. There's such a process for loss that is very challenging. So, you know, these people have to do it for themselves. Oh yeah, there was, okay, so the miracle, but there was another thing too with the guy, is they're convicting the, like, it's just boom, boom, boom with these crimes, man. The 15-year-old family annihilator, they're charging him, and the sister's telling more of the story. There was I don't know, there's a whole weird thing with that, so there'll be more coming out on that, but it's, you know, it's horrible. He, like, killed a 7-year-old, 9-year-old. The parents had multiple. The little girl who lived, she was shot in the neck and in the hand. It's probably like that. And it went in her neck. She fell down. She pretended to be dead. And then she saw that he was going around taking the pulse on him. God, some of these things are creepy. That fucking girl who went and fucking in the bathroom waiting for her sister, her little 7-year-old sister or whatever the fuck. That was the 13-year-old and the 7-year-old sister. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, the predatory, like, something, there's something, I'm telling you, there's something so weird. It's got to be something in the program. It's got to be something with the medicines they're giving them. It's something. It's too fucking weird. Can you imagine being that age and being that predatory? Like, she had a kitchen knife and like some other kind of weapon knife. And she went and sat in the bathroom waiting for her sister to come in so she could get her. Like, why wouldn't you just run in her bedroom? Like, why? And then there's another case that just came out, was, I don't remember. I think it was a young girl, maybe. There just keeps being these. This one was, they said that this is so heinous that the person obviously was really into torture and stuff. And, you know, like, ugh. Like, I mean, it's really hard and challenging in our society. But those things are like a soul shit playing out. Like, that could be people from World War II. That guy skinned that guy alive. Now he's kind of like, you just don't, like, because it happens to them doesn't mean it's going to happen to us. That's what we got to really, keep telling yourself. Like, that's their story. That's their story. And especially it's hard as our stories are playing out, because it's like, oh, who's going to cross my path? And this, okay, so on the miracle thing, because this is cool, because this is what I say about everything is so set. Like, you're going to cross paths with who you're supposed to cross paths with. And there is different degrees. That's what creates different angles. It's the different degrees of influence and interaction. And so if this one was, this miracle was the woman's at the zone, and she's helping out at a church. And so the people come, who need stuff. And she said this woman showed up, and she said that her husband is in hospice, and she doesn't need any supplies except for the things to clean his stuff, like alcohol, his weird pad things, and something else, all stuff, medical stuff. And so the woman who was working the area, she said, oh, we don't have any of that. Let me go back and talk to the pastor and see what he knows or whatever. So she goes back there to talk to him, and she tells him the 3 things that the woman needs. And he says, are you kidding me? And she said, no, it's exactly the 3 things that she needs. And he goes, well, somebody just came and brought this basket in yesterday. It's going to make me cry. Because the world is magical. And we do have somebody who has our back. And it's not just one singular person. It's the whole motherfucking universe. We just forget. And I was watching this movie this morning. I was watching it last night, and I didn't finish it. I was watching it this morning. It's got Tony Curtis and Debbie Reynolds, and it's got a whole bunch of people. Walter Matthau. Younger people won't know who all these people are, but older people. And something about Charlie. I can't remember what it is, but there's, it's one of those ones where somebody dies and comes back in a different body. And it was probably, around the time of that shoulder, Angel on My Shoulder maybe or whatever. I think they did that one like 4 or 5 different times. But Star is Born too. They did that story so many different times. It's like every 10 years. I don't know, maybe every 20 years. But anyways, this... so Tony Curtis's friend is a womanizing pig, and he gets killed by one of the husbands, and then all of a sudden he comes and he's in Debbie Reynolds' body, but now he wants to take advantage of it because he's hot, and so he's just totally immoral. But and Tony Curtis is fed up. He's just so fed up with him, and so he starts saying he's leaving and stuff. And so the Debbie Reynolds starts giving him a lecture about this dog-eat-dog world. You got to make you got to take what you can get, and all that stuff. And I was like, this is the programming. We're creating this dog-eat-dog world. We're out to get each other. You got to get what you can get. You're not going to survive unless you got to be willing to go low, screw them over, get what you can. And then we have a whole part of society that it's running that program. Is running it to the depth of where it can run it without it hitting into their moral compass, which is their soul, which that is the darkness that we are witnessing of how dark that people can go. And it's like they burrow beyond their soul, like they're not listening to their soul so much. Closing it off, you can use alcohol, you can use drugs, you can use drama. You close it off because you got to, I'm telling you, when this is a part to me when I was 3, is that I noticed so much was the dark, the dark lead was very, I'm telling you, it reminded me so much, like I could just see this devil and this angel on my shoulders. It was that type of energy. It was very like laughy and, almost laughing at this one. It was very cartoonish. It's so trippy, but that was what, I think that's what they could get me to understand at 3 years old or something. But, so this one was and it has such an energy, and it's very much more feeds into your ego, like, get even, yeah, fuck them, ha ha ha. Very like that. And it's sinister. It is dark energy. And then the light is very calm. It's very peaceful. It's not worried about it. You do what you're gonna do. It's up to you. But there's consequences, so just, find out for yourself. It's very much like that. And so, yeah, it's easy to override, but it's going to have a kickback. It's like a horse going to be bucking these people off when they all of a sudden start listening, because it's not because it's going to purposefully make you feel like shit, but when you see, you're going to, it just is going to be, it's going to start eating people up. And I don't know how to say it. I mean, we'll watch and see, but it's going to be very hard on people. And just as somebody who went through the dark night, when you all of a sudden you have to face these sides of yourself that you weren't, and then it doesn't just stop there. It's just like the setup, because then you start going through stuff, and you have to. That's like the training, the testing of you determining yourself. And, oh yeah, the guy in the jail, because this guy just got convicted. Like, it's so crazy. His crime is brutal. It's horrible. And he was switched colors. So he didn't make the crime against his own. He did it against a little dark girl, cute as can be. Oh my God. Yeah, the picture, of course, that shows beautiful big smile, this cute ass little hairdo that she had going with all her little colored things, like little bands with little tiny buns, and so it was a really cute little thing. And then it's always that innocent, beautiful smile, man. I don't understand how there's such predators in this place that can see that, and they want to take it away. They want to own it. They don't, I don't know. Because there's different levels in this world, and they're being driven by something that is not, it's like they're being driven by the dark, but it's like they don't have any insight into anything other than the dark. Like they're taken over by the dark. And there's so many people here that are taken over by the dark. But this is why people get a chance to see if they can find their light. But a lot of people won't, and it could be that because your soul's vibration is higher than this, and this is low, you would be, if you were in your soul form, you'd be just like the other aliens and be like too uncomfortable to be here. So, it's raising, and that is what's going to make it where it can be more comfortable. So anyways, this guy, he does in this little 3-year-old in a really brutal, horrific thing, where he drugs her, and then he, has his time with her. And then, I don't know, he decides to scrub the evidence off with bleach pads or something, those little bleach wipes or something. Scrubs her skin so hard that scrubs her skin off. Then, I don't even know, but whatever, he just got put in, got his, I think they hadn't even done the sentence yet. He had gotten convicted, got put in because the sentencing is still, sometimes I think maybe this depends on what court you're at. Because sometimes they have to go back for the sentencing, which there's a whole thing with the Menendez that's still going. I think they're going to release them because I just think they are. And they should. Like, to me, you let Gypsy out, like, what the fuck, man? Our system is so fucking corrupt. I still don't even understand that whole thing. And so this guy, a young guy, he got convicted, got put in. He's in there 2 weeks. And he was going to have 25 years to life. Now he got the easy way out because the inmates just took him out. And when they were asking the judge, did you know that would happen? He goes, well, it's not like we didn't know. We kind of expected it. What are you going to do? And it is like, what are you going to do? I mean, I'm sure they put him right in, with the guy. They make sure that these people know they want this stuff to happen. They're probably sitting there with their ready to go with like, oh, we got the organs coming. We'll be right there. And I don't remember if I already told you that the story was made up about, yeah, I said that yesterday. And now I see other people talking about this horrible serial killer. That's why they've got to stop doing this. There's so many people that go out and they make up stories and stuff and they tell them and they make like it's real. And then people start talking about it like, can you believe it? Can you believe it? And then it's not. So, and I think, well, especially at this time of disclosure, so that those of us who listen to their stories and think it's real, well, to me, I know that stuff is real. And there can definitely be guys on Tinder that are paid to go and get people. So I 100% believe all that stuff. Her one specific story may not be true. The names may have changed, but the stories are the same, That shit is going down all around us. And so to me, the challenge is our challenge towards our discernment. Our challenge is towards not getting too caught up, seeing reality, but not being reality. Oh, that's a good one. Seeing reality, but not being reality. Dang. Fuck. So that is because it is, you don't want to get so caught up in it that it affects you. And I've seen more things too that just gives me more and more confirmation what we're doing here. We are here working on ourselves, and our emotions and stuff is the whole thing, seeing your truth. All these things I've been saying, like I know that is the truth. And then I see more and more stuff. And so, and when I started saying this, it was all a trust. I've been getting that so much. That is like that is like, I would say, I don't even know how far back, but that main message about trust. But everybody's got their own. Like, you've got to look for your messages. That's what you're working on. And it is hard to trust the universe, especially when you've had a lot of trauma and stuff. And that has been, a huge part of my challenge. Because I went through so much different trauma as a kid that it's hard to trust. And I think that is why, one of the reasons why I had so much guidance, because it was, it's like cosplay. It's like cosplay. Like, we come in here and play these parts and stuff. But it is like this, like when you're playing out some darker roles that well, in my case, my guides have been there with me and have been teaching me throughout the thing. Because I, from a young age, I knew not to get even with people and stuff. Like, there was a lot of stuff that was, that people are just now learning. I would call it higher-minded. Like, I was taught a lot of higher-minded things. Like, I was going at this game on a different level than other people, but other people would see me and think I was so strange. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I was playing a different game, so I had a guide, and that was the thing that was weird, is just because as I'm playing it, I'm thinking it's all the same for all of us. I had no idea. I had no idea that everybody didn't have, these people talking to you. And I thought that was just part of it. It started when I was young. I thought it was just part of it. You have these, talking through it. And so that, when the people don't have something like that, and they just go down and spiral down and fall apart and stuff like that, it's because that was supposed to be the thing that played out. So it's not like, we got to not compare, but I got to be, this is my story. This is my story. I got to say my story. But the thing is about all of our stories, they're all unique to us. Our lessons, what we're coming here to learn. So me coming here to learn about trust and stuff, and a lot of the past lives I've been shown have had to do with trust. Like it was weird on the one, because I saw this one on the QHH2. And it was just like this image that I was getting of a woman on horseback and a man being on horseback. And I had this thing that she was going to be hung, but it wasn't for what she did. It was like it seemed like it was something that her husband did or something, and she was getting blamed. I don't know. But there was this whole kind of feeling of being fucked over. Like I got royally fucked and was losing my life. And we've had these experiences. Like there's reasons we carry this stuff with us. We've gone through these experiences as souls. We are the creators. Like the history that we look for is inside of us. We are the creators of all of this. So and the more we connect with each other, it's like the more we can access everyone else's stories and stuff. And so so all of our different stories are playing out. And oh yeah, so you have your own things, your own lessons and stuff. And there was certain heavy topics or something that ate at me as a kid. And what is that called? The consequence keeps coming, but it's not a conspiracy. So conspiracy, I was very aware of conspiracy, and I was very aware of like, you couldn't trust the government. And I kept questioning things and trying to tell people, but people were very, alliance with the government. It's like the government was their parents or something. And but you try and say things like, yeah, but why are we paying taxes? Why don't we get to say what the money goes to then? If we are going to give them our money, why don't we get to say what it's going to? And they put those on the ballots. No. They're shifting money around, and I don't know where I was getting some of this stuff, because I was very aware of the secret space program thing. Like I knew they were putting money into space stuff that was secret. Like I was like, I knew that they knew. Like I wasn't just talking to these people. If I was talking to these people, they knew these people were real. And then when they were telling us there was no aliens and stuff, and I knew that these people were not on our planet. When they're telling us there's no other people, there's nobody out there talking, we're all alone out here spinning in space fast, going upside down all over the place, and you never feel like you're moving. It's like, well, why don't I ever feel like I'm upside down? If I go upside down for half the day, why don't I ever feel like I'm upside down? And so it never made sense to me. I always thought there's something weird, but I didn't know. I was like aware that there's so I'm way more open when I start hearing like about flat earth and stuff like that. It's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because I don't see how. I was always thinking like, and I've been seeing the moon out all fucking since I was a kid. I was pointing that out to people when I was a kid. Because it would be like, well, did you guys see the moon is up there? Why isn't the moon supposed to be over Australia? Like I couldn't understand. And nobody would ever be like, I was like, and so, but there are certain things that your own soul has in your own storyline that are going to stick out to you. And for me, mine was like always in this, where other people didn't give a shit about it. I don't care. And so you're very isolated. You're on your own. And yeah, I just got this flash of Joan Crawford. Not Joan Crawford. Joan, she was like in those dramatic shows a long time ago, and she was like the evil one. And she was like in a show called Dallas. She's always, and I've seen her like she's in older scary movies and stuff. What is her name? It seems like Crawford, but it's not Joan Crawford. But anyways, I can't think of her name, but Jacqueline Smith. And so it's these two ladies. The one is like 90-some years old, 94 years old or something like that. And this Jacqueline Smith's like 78 years old. Go look up the picture. And they put the two different ones, and they were probably okay. Okay, so there would be two things that would be coming to the surface, because it would be the the um the negative side of that, where that has to do with the harvest and what you can buy as they part shit out. And so there would be people being exposed about that's what they use to stay young. They turn themselves into fucking vampires or whatever. Then, but then we're also going to have this other thing that is the light breaking through, of people starting to learn, it's lifestyle. You just got to take care of yourself. Like, they've tricked you into not taking care of yourself and relying on them. Hell no. And so it is, so people will start seeing that they can be younger. And so there'll be people, or I mean, a lot of people who will be driving that influence. I keep seeing all sorts of people, was like super young looking. And so there's going to be a ton of that, like, that's going to go forward, of people who have been taking care of themselves, working on themselves, and seeing like they're not aging the same as these other people who aren't taking care of themselves. So there's something to this, huh? And so that's going to get people to be like, well, I want to start taking care of myself better. Then I can change my lifestyle. I can go walk around the block a few times a day or whatever. Everybody's got their own things that hold them back. And they've created so much sickness. I can't even believe the fucking pains inside. I've never felt. Some of this stuff is so fucked. And so, I know people are having these pains and stuff you got to work through, and the inflammation and stuff that they're creating. And a lot of people have autoimmune and don't even know it. And it's just an overreaction, over exaggeration once the first domino goes. So the introduction of the toxin that your body starts rejecting, and then your body goes into overdrive, which creates all of your system to go into high alert and starts just bashing everything. So it goes into inflammation, everything just goes crazy. And they can hit in different places. We're all unique. So but I know a lot of people are having these exaggerated influence of symptoms that is, well, and then plus they have got this fast moving CA stuff that's going through people and ripping them up real quick. So, and that's an introduction of, hit them while they're low. Let's curb stomp those bitches while they're down. So that's what they want to get us while we're down. But that's what you got to keep picking yourself back up. And it's exhausting, man. And I know that it's 11 days. Like, I swear to God, it is weird. 11 days to this fucking funk bullshit. And so yesterday, the day before yesterday, there was information that was going. This one guy in particular was saying that there was about to be this big announcement. Something big's about to go, and it's on the blue side. Is some more stuff coming out on but any of us gotta just know. This is where you gotta learn to trust. Is that this is coming. So no matter what, she's going to be exposed. We've been seeing it, watching it go. And even though they have like exposed so many things throughout this 4 years, this is the buildup. And so this is the we got all eyes on. What trips me motherfucking out. This trips me hard, man. Is the people who really support them. Like, they legitimately have people who support them. They legitimately have people who are fucking excited. And this is really showing the sellouts. Like, Eminem. Oh my God. Like, I was very torn on him, because there was a lot of stuff that is shown. And I was thinking, this guy, I don't know that he's the original version of himself at all. It seemed like that they had cloned him or mind wired him or something. And that could be also is when these up-and-comers are coming in hard, that they take him to a diddler party, and then that guy goes in with something, take the little drink, and then it puts in, for all we fucking know, some kind of nanobot spirit or something that takes over, and that they get control over them. Because there's just way too many weird, glitchy things once these people start. And there was a lot of films of him and stuff. And I've always kind of thought, he's kind of a misogynist. He's kind of angry. And, my girls liked him and stuff. But there's definitely some songs that I've liked of his. And then when he was coming out hard, all of a sudden, it seemed like he was coming out to expose things. And then all of a sudden, it was the flip. This is how things are going to be flipping, though. Then he flips over, and he even got dressed up like a girl and a schoolgirl. And then and that's another thing too, is these people gotta see, like, wow, this movement. What is this movement? It's goddamn bowel movement. I'll tell you that. And so, but they're in total support of this. And you got all these guys, I'm man enough to vote for a woman. Oh my God. She's not even an intelligent, like, this woman has no clue. She can't even goddamn finish a goddamn sentence. I mean, she's worse than me. But she never says anything. She just says a bunch of words and puts them together and then twists them around and explains the words. It's like, you never say shit. And because she has no plan. She's a fucking puppet. She doesn't even know. Sometimes she says she's going to do this, and then she turns around and says she's not going to do it. She has no idea. And it's going to be super extreme, because this is the way politicians have always been. So it has to be glaring. It has to be screaming at us for us to catch on, like, this is some bullshit. But this is kind of stuff I noticed when I was a kid. It was like, they'll say whatever. They just put on a suit and a smile and they say whatever. This is bullshit. What the hell are you guys doing? And then, I only got worse, and I was ready to go with fucking, I'm joining in with the group that's going to go and get those fucking bushes. Let's trim that shit up. Like, I was out to, I couldn't believe that shit. And I was like, fuck, is anybody paying attention with the goddamn, this fucking that guy was it was so obvious what a puppet he was. And then his evil fucking dad standing back there all the time. Like, goddamn, that was a fucking evil family. And they're still around. Jeb and the wife and George Jr. Like, I'm sure I don't know. They could already be gone to the center. They'll already be so I don't know. But, oh yeah, because they keep on talking about Gator. And he's, there's charges. I think it's in Norway or something. Some place is charging him now for misinformation, like a whole bunch of stuff over this. And, but I think he's been gone for a while. Like, I think he's not around at all. I think he was gone fucking in 2020 or something, back when Tom Hanks. Because I 100% think Hanks has been gone. I think that is the person who's coming out playing him is either his brother, which they've already showed how much his brother looks like him and how much his brother can imitate him. So sometimes it might be his brother. Maybe his brother did it for a while and then got burned out. Maybe his brother was doing it because he was involved in some of the stuff, but not as bad. I don't know. But that's not him. And or maybe a guy in a mask or something, or it could be he's got versions of himself. Then, I don't know, maybe this is the cleaning out the clone closet or something, and they're bringing them all out for us so that we can wrap it up and see, like, oh, that's just one of him. Other ones, they're gone. So, I don't know. Just keep your mind open to all things are possible. In all things, this is our time of being exposed to the truth. And that is what, when you start noticing that is what's happening, even though it's coming in spurts. And that guy had said that there was going to be this big thing that was coming out on her. And it was going to be all we're going to start jumping ship, and everybody was going to start saying, Go in on this guy, go on this guy. Because it's all a shit. Like, this is all set up. Like, this is all playing out. Like, everything is set. Like I've said a billion times, you're not getting up and surprising the universe in any way, shape, or form today. It's all set. It's all in action. They're surprising you with the, what happens through your day. They'll try and surprise you. And if they're not, you're probably, if you're just in a lull, you probably have something that you're not paying attention to or something. And they're not going to push you and push you and push you. They'll just sit back and wait for you to figure it out. Because it's not about the score. It's about the work. And so they're not going to push you out of it so that you start trying to go past it. You got to go through it. And part of going through it is being able to communicate with yourself, to wake yourself up, to control yourself, and all of that kind of thing. So that is a part of what the people have to go through. It's like they have to shift their focus from this containment center of three-dimensional bullshit and start listening into themselves, into their internal voice. And then, but so many people don't trust that and they don't think it's real. And that is real, and that is what our real world is about. And that changes the game when you're in communication with, your guides or whoever it is, like whoever it is that you're talking to. Like for me, it was definitely guidance through my life. It wasn't just guidance because they don't just say, go do this, go do that. It's way more of like, okay, this is a good example. Because it is, so when my son-in-law wasn't coming right now, I was like, well, fuck, I got all these things I need to get, like for the dogs. There's a bunch of stuff I've been just not getting it because I've been trying to put all my money towards him getting here. And then it drags on, and it's hard not to, go get more stuff. Because you got to go get food, you got to go get this and that. And so when he had said he wasn't coming right now, that I, just said, well, I'm just going to get the stuff I need and not stress out about it. And you can get the thing covered, make a better plan. Like he's got one list and he sent me the total and stuff. I've spent too much. I didn't have enough to pay for it right now. But in a couple of weeks when I get paid, I'll pay for that list. And I said, get the other one going too. I probably can do both of them. And then they'll have that stuff delivered here, so it'll be ready. But it's going to be the dead of winter. And so, I mean, do I really want to have the stuff all delivered right now? Anyways, so it's kind of like, I mean, I feel like we're going to be under snow in no time. And I have a fire going. This is not my first one, though. And so the spending the money. So I started spending the money. Okay, so I started getting things that I needed. And so I was trying to, look for deals. Like I'm not just out to frivolously spend money. So I was looking for deals like life jackets. I had to get Archie his own bowl, get him a harness, get another leash, like all this kind of stuff. And so and they didn't have beds. And Max has been stealing Stella's bed, and friggin' Archie always wants to sleep on me. And so I got these little donut beds because I had this other flat bed thing, but nobody ever wanted to sleep on it. Stella's is a big flat one that has rolled sides. And so you have something to lean on. And then so nobody was really into that flat one, which I ordered another flat one for Stella for the bottom of her bed. But hers is a lot more of like, well, they're getting all this new stuff, and I want her to feel like she's as important. And so, and her bed thing is more, so I got a big pillow, like a topper to put on her thing. So I'm going to see how that works. I don't know. And it wasn't cheap, but it was like on half price sale or something. It was still like $35. And I got these dogs, these little donut beds. And I thought especially, well, I noticed how they sleep and they get all curled up. But it's supposed to be good for anxiety. And Max obviously has anxiety. I can't even believe how much he loves this sweater. I'm gonna have to order more of these sweaters because the sweater is really like holds him. The shirt is like I'll put that on to wash it, and I need to get another sweater, and I don't know what summer is gonna be like. Like I don't know how he God, I hate that. I don't know what, you know, maybe he will feel better and he won't be hot. Maybe he won't get as hot. I don't know. We'll see. But he does like it when I lift it and scratch him. So I had ordered these two donut things. And then there kept being drama with the beds and stuff. And it kept saying that my beds weren't going to be coming until like the end of the month. And I was like, fuck, I wish I would have noticed that it was such a long distance from when they were going to send them. So I went on and I started looking for ones that were more 2-day, so more ones that they had in the warehouse that were like the same. And when you go and look, you have to go in, you have to look at them, you have to do all these measurements, you have to do read the reviews, do comparisons, you know. So it's like time consuming when you're trying to buy stuff. But it's better than going and walking around the stores and spending gas. So I'm not bitching about it. It's just like it takes time. And so I got the beds, and then I found these other two, and they were on sale even. They were like a half price sale. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm getting those. And so I got them, each one of those. And then I went in to cancel the other ones. They wouldn't let me cancel them. I was like, what in the holy hell? I tried like 4 or 5 times, and they won't. They refuse to let me cancel it. So then they shipped them because they hadn't even shipped. And it was days and days before they shipped, even when I was trying to cancel them, and they still wouldn't cancel them. And then, so they said they're on their way. They're supposed to be here Monday. And so I kept thinking, well, send them back, you know, $50, get $50 back or something, and send these two back. Or is there a reason? So I started like looking, and I was like, okay, so it is that Max isn't as fond of this one because he does want to spread out a little bit more. But this other one that's coming is 3 inches bigger. This is 27 inches, and the other one's 30. So I was like, okay, so it would be better. And then you know, Archie, he doesn't care. And so I was like, okay, well, so you know, I should keep this then. And so I came up with this whole thing. Well, I'm going to take these two that I have and put those in the car. I got them seat belts too because they ride in the back of the station wagon. And there's 2 little hooks, so I hook them into the seat belts and then put each of them one of these beds to sit in back there so that they can sit or sleep in the bed when we're driving. Like, and I don't know when we're going to be driving. Even it's like I get prepared for everything. Because even if it was like evacuation, it's going to be like, it's so crazy because you start thinking of like, what would I take? What would I take? And I've got all these, my clothes. My clothes is like so important to me. It's like my collection or something. And then, you know, you can't have, I don't know. I just don't want to think about it. And, you know, think about it, but I'm not, okay. I'm just not going to give it a lot of energy on that. And so but having well, if we go and travel, because we do go out and drive a lot, and I take them everywhere I go. So I was like, well, this will be good. And so they'll sit back there, and I fix Stella's little thing up. I put a blanket back there and stuff, so hers is softer. Because I got a back seat thing, and I got this one that's like a hard bottom, some thing that was going around on TikTok shop. And so it's like a hard bottom, so it gives more thing. And it really seems to work better than when I have the whole thing open. Because when I have the whole seat open and Stella's back there, which it used to be that's what I would do until the back door started doing that weird thing. Because she would like lay up against the door. And I'd be driving on the pass. I'm going 80 miles an hour. All these people are going. And I'd be like, fuck. And she'd stand up and start walking around back there, flop her big butt down against the door. And I would be like fucking having a heart attack. And, but once the car started glitching on the water thing and the door started opening by itself, I was like, fuck that. I'm not having her ride back there. And I was so anxious when it was shut. Now that I know it can open. And then, so I got her the back seat thing, which I think is better. It seems like it's better to me. And it seems like it's more comfortable than when she had the whole thing. It seemed like she was constantly getting up, trying to move. And she does in there too, but she still has more support because she can lay against that thing. Where she was going and laying against the door, now she can lay against the seat. So I still, and she can sit up and have her face like part of the drive. She's always got her face like right on my face. Or she just lays her face right on my shoulder. She's this big head. And she just lays her face on my shoulder. She's such a sweetie. She's just so loving. She's the gentle giant thing. That is a real thing. They're just so sweet. I think they kind of remind me of cows or something. And that's the thing about cows too, is like if you look at them like dogs and spirits and stuff, and then when you think about the history of cows and how much you brutalized them and stuff, it's just like, it's very sad. We've been so brutal. So humans have become so brutal, but it was programmed into us. And like, look how far they've gone now. Like, you got kids that are predators on their family like that. Like, it's so fucking crazy. Like, I remember when I was a kid, my mom, because it happened when I was in high school, a woman, Lucinda Stout's mom, got shot, and her dad too. It was like one of these weird things. And we were all suspicious. Everybody was suspicious of like, what the hell? Her? Lucinda wouldn't do that. And she had an older brother. And the whole thing was weird. It seemed like she had come home. Her dad had done her mom and she was traumatized. The dad started panicking and got her to take the blame because she would be out because she was a kid or something. It just seemed weird. And but she went in, and she was in Huntsville for a long time. I don't remember. She got released when I was on Facebook. So I was in the 20s, though. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you could go look up the records or whatever. But anyways, that whole thing of dealing with that murder thing, but it never, like, none of us ever believed that she did it. And I don't know. Like, I've never talked to her or anything. I talked to her in school when we were in school, but once we got out, I didn't. But there was a lot of people, there was people who did, when we would talk about. And so, I don't know. I think most of us never thought that she did it. Most of us thought or her dad did it or something. There was something weird happened. And, but my mom started telling me about when she was in school, she had a friend and she, would walk with her after school or whatever. They would walk home. And that girl went home one day and got out rat poison and killed her mom. And so, and how weird that was to my mom. Like, oh my gosh, And it's like her friend that she'd walk and talk with. And then she goes home and kills her mom. And I can't remember her name. I know her name. I can't think of it. But anyways, that was like, these very traumatic, crazy things. Like, of hearing of a kid die especially when you're a kid. But now it's like fucking common, man. Like, I don't know that I heard of, I swear to God, I've only heard of it recently where there's been so much of this. Like, before it was very like random. And that is even when the Menendez brothers, when that all happened, and people were just like, oh my God, this doesn't happen. You don't go and kill your own parents. And then people made like they were psychos instead of making like the dad was. And so now all this stuff's coming out on the dad, and he's the diddler parties or something. Or he has his own, I don't know. He's very involved in all this stuff. And all the stuff that they were saying was true. And so, that's kind of like the energy flipping. And that they didn't go dark in jail. They kept continuing to stay, trying to help people and stuff like that. So they have a good record too in there. And so anyways, I think they're going to get out maybe today. I don't know. But it was just, it's just so strange when that happens. And it was and then a family annihilator to be a kid, like, and there's been more of these. I'm not saying like these are the first ones, because even when I was in Spokane, there was like that one. And this is like where it first started too, was with these things at the schools. Then I know, like in our town, there was a boy who killed his dad and his brother. It was brutal too. I think it was by Coeur d'Alene or something, or Post Falls. And this kid, it was like, I think he was like 15 or something too. And his brother was like, I don't know, 12 or 13 or something. And then his dad, and he did it with a machete. And it was really sad because his little brother was like trying to hide from him under the bed. I don't remember. It was horrible, very predatory. And then he got arrested, and it was all about this, like his mental health, and the family saying that they knew something was wrong with him, and the grandparents saying stuff. And I know there's a lot of people out there who have these kids that are out of control, and there's no area in the system to help you. And so, I know it is scary. I've seen videos of people who are living with kids who are very violent and just tear shit up. Will And then they even close some of these kids off with the autism. So they close off their communication, and then they build up this huge tension. And I have no idea if it's all frequency and drugs, I would say. It's chemicals and vibration. And then, and they get them into the system. And then there's more mind control. And there's so many kids coming out on this GATE program. I really wish my daughter would talk to me more seriously about it, but she is still in that state. And she's on this big trip. Like, she's flying to Vegas to go see Adele, and then they're going to fly over to Belize or something like that. It's like, well, you can fly right through the hurricanes. Was there a hurricane that was there the other day? You can help with the cleanup. Like, there's so many people just going around, just like, life's just fun. Let's have fun. And it's like, but I know the people who are doing that, something's going to be boom. Guess what? You got to get your act straight, get your priorities straight. And, I mean, maybe she has, and she's all healed, and nothing's going to happen. She's just going to be flying around and stuff like that. I don't know. It's very stressful to me because it's like, fuck. And there's, I don't know. I keep seeing videos of several hurricanes now coming up towards Florida, and they're saying these ones are about to cross through Helene. And just all that. There's a bunch of earthquakes happening over here, a bunch of little ones, and they're not saying anything. There's I mean, there's so much fucking shit. Like, even going into places, to me, like going into a place like Vegas right now seems crazy. That is where the instigators and stuff are, is in the condensed places so that they can wreak havoc. And, oh yeah, there's been footage of a couple of different cameras of people out rural. And there has been footage of, I don't know what else to call them except for soldiers, and they look like they're Arabian or something, going and, well, they're back there on a thing, track going, like we're being surrounded or something. And and I don't know if it isn't for some kind of battle. It's just so that we're so close that it's scary, because that's what this awakening is going to be. It's going to be like a big hard thing, but for some people it's going to be so close it was scary, but for others it's going to be the scary part. There has to be that drama so we realize really how close we were, because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be going down. So, and you just don't know where. I would say a lot of the places, it's going to have to do with the maps too, where there's going to be a lot of dramas. But all of the places in the cities are going to be, wreaking havoc. So that is going to keep going. All this stuff is going to keep going. It's not going back to the way it was. Like, it's so strange how people are just, I don't know. I feel like this week is going to be, well, this week's almost over now. They're saying if that money thing start, then the Monday was the big crash thing. It was Monday. It was called like Dead Monday or something, Dark Monday or something like that. So my stomach's growling like crazy. So they're saying like, well, this be that Monday. So a lot can be going on over the next few days because the bankers, and the corporation are going to keep fighting for their control, and the other people are going to keep pushing them out, and they're going to keep having a fit and doing as much damage. And then plus it's already in motion, all their instigators and stuff. And that is one reason why I swear to God, he keeps trying to make sure people understand she's the one that let all these people in. And this is where it gets so weird, how these people just keep being so supportive of her, like she's a good person. It's like, damn, I mean, these are adult people. And you don't, like, it is mental. Like, you have no awareness of anything of her record or something. Like, I don't know. They just all seem to lap up the fucking nonsense or something. It's creepy. So, you got all her supporters or whatever, and then supposedly this big thing that there's going to be some announcement. I was on the edge of my seat yesterday, I swear to God, waiting for this motherfucking announcement. Then it even said that she was going to go live at 1 o'clock Eastern, which was the time. So I'm sitting there waiting, and it's supposed to be she's going to go live. Well, she didn't go live. I was looking and looking. I couldn't find anything where she was live. So then I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe they were wrong on the hours. So I kept watching. I didn't see anywhere where she ever went live. And he was at one of his million rallies. I swear to God, I don't know how many rallies this guy does a day. It's like all fucking day long. And then you got JD over there, and they're all about the Jesus, let's go, come on, But that is what brings the people together, and there will be a separation of information where, it's not going to be just God, Jesus, because they're all going to have to step down off of Jesus, because they're going to find out Jesus is not coming to save them. So there's going to be the whole thing that has to play out. But right now it's get them all on the Jesus, get them all on because the other people are godless. So, and most people, are really, as they're waking up and they're feeling their soul inside of them, they're yearning for some sort of kind of parameters. Everything's out of control. Everybody's sleep with everybody, a little kid, like it's mental. So there's a discomfort to your soul beginning to tap away and stuff, especially if you feed into all of the darkness. Man, my stomach is growling like crazy. I feel like I'm starving to death. Oh my God. What time is it? 4:30. I went to the food bank yesterday, and I got some more of those soups. Those soups are so good. But there was a big old thing of Costco muffins. So I got a big old thing of double chocolate muffins. So, muffins, which I know Costco is full of poison, all these grocery stores, and even that one had cooked a mouse right into the fucking bread. Oh yeah, and there's so many videos now about there's no fucking way that happened. That Walmart, the oven, it can't do what they're saying it did. It can't lock like that. And it would be impossible that this woman got trapped in this oven and she got cooked in there. So there's gonna be something. I don't even know. Like, are they trying to? Fuck. It's like, and it's Walmart. Like, there's already a whole thing about that place. It is, grabbing people from the inside and taking them out the back door and taking them in a fucking van with the windows taking them to a center, flying them out real quick. Like, people go missing in that place. And so it's corrupt as fuck. And, the faces in their store, because they have a whole board of them, and the faces in their store are those ones for sale, and then the milk cartons too. That was the whole thing too. Are these the ones that are for sale, or what is this going on? And somebody who got taken from there came out and said, and I don't remember, she said it's like you go, it's like a door all of a sudden opens and you get pulled in, and they took her, and they right away took her in some kind of a car, van or something, and took her to another location. And she was out of state real quick. I think she was found in a whole other state. Like, I don't remember the whole story. It was really weird. But, these things just go away because the media is protecting them, because the media is affiliated. But this is where the collapse, because it's all of us coming out and speaking about this stuff. We're overriding what the media is saying, but it's causing a lot of tension and chaos because people don't, well, the media would tell us if it was the truth. Well, that's a part of your lessons. That's a part of what you're going to wake up to. And well, that doesn't happen. And so, there's going to be a lot of information that goes around, but that's where you got to just be like, okay, not, I don't know. It just is like a discernment, but also don't just get super, super caught up, because I don't see what is, these things are really happening. They really are taking people and taking their skin and using it for stuff. They really are discarding people. They eat them and then they discard the remnants. There really is something going on with these organs. Like, what the fuck? How can you need so many? And so there's a lot of weird shit going on. So when you hear those weird stories, it's like, yep, there's weird shit going on. But there was something else I was trying to say about something, and I don't know if I skipped over it. Let me think. Because it was, what was I talking about? The, oh yeah. Okay, so on the dog bed thing. So this is a trusting the universe kind of thing. So on the dog bed thing, so I'm trying to stop, and get my money back. And, it wouldn't let me. And I was like, what the fuck? But that is where you don't just start fighting it. There's a reason. And so that is where it's like, okay, the universe has a reason why these beds are coming. So I'm not going to drive myself crazy trying to fight it. And so then after I come into that rationale of like, okay, so they're supposed to come, or I would be able to stop it. There's a reason. And then, oh man, these waves of nausea too. But that's what that one lady said. These big waves of nausea. It's fucked, man. I hate nausea. This is like the second one this morning, or third. It's like, fuck, man. Fuck. Really, really, I'm so tired. And there was some periods of where I was really feeling super, super good. And so I just know I don't know how much of it is the changing vibration from the reality and how much of it is poison. Like, I don't know. I just know what's happening. And when I hear other people talking about it, and when I hear, some of these people, like the spiritual people, like I know there's a huge group of spiritual people who are not facing their shit. And that's why they're being overrun by it. They're not facing their past lives. They're too busy out there trying to life coach other people and make money off of it. So, yeah, I've said all along, there's this spiritual group is not focused on their healing. And that is what everybody's got to be focused on, because healing is what raises your vibration. And they want you to do it all artificial. Just, just keep raising your vibration all day long. You're just dodging all the things that make you feel bad. And that's like the opposite of what you need to do, is facing the things that make you feel bad is how you get over them. So, anyways, but I've said all along, like, these people are going in the wrong direction, and it's going to become clear. And I think it becomes more and more clear. But then also for people who have been working on their stuff, there is like this vibrational pull apart. Like, you're not riding the same vibration you were. And this place is so dark and heavy. So it does make sense that it would affect us. Because that is like what I said, like the aliens don't come down and go into this reality because of it's dense. It's hard. I think it's hard for, if you're light body, it's hard to hold it into form in a dark energy source. So it's, but, we're going to see more of them because we're raising the vibration, because we're pulling free from the darkness. The darkness sitting back here kicking their feet and having a fit. And we each individually have to pull ourselves free. And as we all individually do it, that is where it gives no place for this dark energy to exist anymore. And then once we pull ourselves free out of that, that is when we're all in a combination of a higher vibration. And that is where a new world is created. And right now, it's just all of us stepping free, pulling free, facing it, and seeing the truth. And that's why it has so much to do with disclosure and all of the information. It's like an information dump, and all information is valid, and everybody has to go through it. It's like going into a hoarder's house and figuring out what things you can use, and it'd be different for all the different people. So as you go through these things, it's like, what can you use from this experience, and what do you need to do through the process of letting go or whatever. And in most cases, it should be bringing up some kind of targeted pain or suffering or trauma in your life as you go through these things. And it's like the universe will do you favors. Like, you'll run across somebody that reminds you of somebody else, and that will bring that person back into the forefront of your mind, where you have to start replaying areas of the relationship, only at this time of the vibrational connection is going to give you a more elaborate view. So you're going to be able to see, like, when Dickie came and I started seeing myself from our relationship, instead of just seeing him and what he did, I could see myself and what I did and how it affected him. And it was like we were affecting each other. This is the crazy thing, is why I say you're matched by vibration when you're in a relationship with somebody. And so the same things that were affecting me were affecting him, but it was in different kinds of ways. And that's why, in all of my relationships, I can't just say, oh, well, they're abusive. Yeah, a lot of them relied on very aggressive attempt to feel better in their life. But, I was triggering that to them. That was very real to them, that they were feeling so triggered by me. And I am so triggered by them because those are the vibrational match. And so we were very triggered, and we can go at each other as opponents and blaming, you are the cause, you're the cause. I mean, I couldn't ever get over it with any of those people because I wasn't meant to. I wasn't meant to fix things with them and stay with them. I was meant to learn from them and go through it, and just as they were meant to go through things with me and learn from me. A lot of them, I don't think, go in that direction because most people don't have that spiritual inclination to gather your experiences and learn from them and let go of shit. They want to blame people. And then especially like when they've done stupid ass shit, they want to blame, well, I was in a really bad relationship and and it's like, well, like you're kind of like, well, I don't want to really take responsibility for myself. Nothing's going to change until you really take responsibility for yourself. So you really say, fuck, man, I fucked up. I did this or did that. I said this mean thing and I was trying to get even. I wanted this person to feel bad because they were making me feel bad. And when you go in and you start owning that and you see this side of yourself, this bitter side or this vindictive side or whatever, because when you're going through life on autopilot, that side is there. It's acting out. You just don't realize it. You just are automatically, you have a trigger, like something happens and it's an auto response. I mean, it's all based on your trauma. And that's what gets so crazy, is that we start lashing out at people that didn't even do the stuff to us. And the people who did, we hold them back in the past. We don't move forward with them. And it's so convoluted, and it's such a clusterfuck of events. But that is where everything has got to stabilize. And that is where people have got to start recognizing, how do you make relationships better if you're just fucking discarding them and pointing fingers at everybody? Like, what kind of life is that? I mean, at some point, you're going to narrow it down. You're not going to have any friends because somebody's going to disagree with you about something. And, where people have got to start seeing, like, oh, so I'm the one. Like, if you don't agree with me, I'll push you out. You don't agree with me, get the fuck out of here. And people have got to see it's them, it's their side. Just like this lady who's having this epiphany. As our friendship ended because she was a little too tinfoil hattish and I couldn't handle it. And so that is, where people are going to start realizing, like, oh, like they were telling me the truth and I couldn't handle it. And, she's just having the epiphany. She hasn't even had it start hitting her yet, because that's going to drive her into a very dark self-realization. Because once you start going into that and realizing, you have a dark side, then you have to purge it out. You have to let it go. But that is the gift, is to start realizing you have one, because the people on autopilot, they feel valid. They feel valid in their choices and their response system. And they don't realize that it is not, until they go in and do their healing. When you go in and you start healing from stuff, you get such a different perspective on things. You see things so differently. And um and your relationships are there to teach you. They're there to, it's like the bumpers on the bowling alley thing. When they put the bumpers up, it's like those are the bumpers in life to get you to stay. It should kind of keep bouncing you back towards center, but people are so off. That's the thing. People are so lost. That's the big thing. That's the big awakening part, is because, and it's all valid, because we were living in this other reality. We're leaving that reality and going to another one. But the people that are also trapped in this way of existence, this way of being, and they're temperamental, argumentative, uh, like temperamental and vindictive, argumentative, uh, whiny. It's all this poor me. And oh yeah, and oh my God, on TikTok there's so fucking many people desperately begging you to watch their videos. Please watch my video all the way through. Please like, subscribe, all this stuff, because they're all trying to make money off of this uh, fucking TikTok creator fund bullshit. I've said the whole motherfucking time it's bullshit. I knew it was bullshit. I could see it was bullshit. I couldn't believe how many fucking people just jumped on board of it. And then it played out just like what I was thinking it would do. They start saying what you have to talk about, how many videos, all this stuff. It's all about control. And then they've started taking these people's money away. So you have this whole group out there talking about the bullshit with the creator fund and how fucked it is, and they're fucking people over and all that. And you have these other people trying to get into it, begging you, please, please, I'm losing everything. I've got nothing. Please just watch my video. And then you got all these dog rescue people, where I think some of them are setting up fucking things to get views and stuff. Like, it's disturbing, where humanity will go to for fucking views. And, I mean, there's video after video of people playing out where this has got to be a play. This is not real. I mean, women pulling up, people arguing and shit. It's like, bullshit. This is not fucking real. And it's so weird that people, this is what you put your energy into. And so the people, but the people have to recognize things. They have to start seeing things and questioning things for themselves. It's the only way. You can't, everybody can see, you can't tell somebody to wake up. They have to do it in a natural way. They have to start questioning things and look at things and seeing things. And then it's a huge process. And then you got to go through the process of like, why wasn't I? What did I do? The things that you've made, the decisions you've made, and how you've affected other people. And then, to me, it's just been a whole long process, because it was like facing yourself and then healing certain parts of yourself. But then there was this whole thing about learning how to put yourself out there, be vulnerable, how to set boundaries, even in the most hardest like the things that came to me, people coming into my house, and the things that were coming to me to teach me some of this stuff were hard as fuck, man. And I had to sit in reflection and ask them, and they were always there telling me, what I was working on. And then that would give me perspective so I would understand, and then I could go at it in a different way so I could be learning. And once you are get the information, then you move on out of it. And that's, when you aren't getting it, you're staying trapped in it. And so I don't know, because there's all these people, who think like something's going to save them. Like this creator fund is not going to save you. The creator fund was created for a middleman to make money off of you and then to control our conversations. And then there's so many people who are so desperately out there trying to make it. There's video after video. All these people just do, like, your content is now just commercials. Like, you have nothing to say except for to tell us about different products because you're just trying to make money. And, I've talked about this before because to me, this is all third party. When you really want to start thinking about how you're going to make it in the world, you have a gift inside of you. You have something that you're good at, something you came here to share with the world. Once you start watering that, feeding that garden, then you will start going on that, like, your positive timeline. You will start going towards what it is you are here to do. And otherwise, you stay back trying to do what you think is best. And so that's where you get to fight the universe for as long as you want, thinking that you know what's best. And I think there's a lot of people who aren't even going to see that part. Then they're not going to go through that part. It's more about for us to get to see the blockages that people have, so we understand how really serious this is, that this programming, and how it's, this place is so dark and so nefarious and so created. And but anyways, so the let me see stuff. Okay, the dog bed thing. So even though you could sit there and fight the universe, like, oh no, I'm putting these back, I want that $50 for something else. That's where so much of this stuff, I just like, okay, if it's not going back, it was simple, then it's obviously supposed to stay here. And there's obviously a reason for it. And then when I started trying to think of the reason, I was like, well, the bed's in the car is a good idea, because then they have their own little things and I could seatbelt them in. And so I was like, well, that's a good idea. And then plus, if I go someplace and we were somewhere, then they have beds right there in the car, so we could pull them out and they could sleep in their beds. So, I don't know. But I definitely, this is the thing of like where you start getting in sync with the universe. And that is where I found, like, they're more about, like, they're not going to tell you, like, oh, today you're going to run across Pam and she's going to fuck you over, and then you guys are going to get in a fight, and then she's going to say this really mean thing. And they don't tell you all that. But they do tell you things like, get an umbrella. You may want to get your water for this. You probably need to check your oil. Like, they'll tell you things like that. They'll make a thing like that. And that's where you got to, that's where you can skip. Like, you can not hear them because you're so overthinking something. So you can get caught up in your own head, and you have got that. It's like screaming at you. It's blaring because you are overplaying something. You're spinning out on it, replaying it, and getting more mad and more frustrated or whatever. So then when this other stuff is coming in, the little quiet voice, then it's like you're not hearing it, or it's like, I'm fucking not getting a goddamn fucking umbrella right now. It's not even fucking raining. Like, what the fuck? Why would I even think that? Like, I'm so stupid. And they just go in this other direction. And but when you start getting in the sync of it, but then the synchronicities happen, like, you're out and then it's raining, and that's where people are like, all of a sudden, like, why did I had that thing of getting an umbrella today and I didn't do it? Why didn't I? Like, where did that come from? When you stop and question those things, that's when you'll start seeing, like, oh, there's somebody telling me shit. There's somebody telling me things. Somebody's trying to help me out there. Who's trying to help me out there? Why are they trying to help me? And then you got to go through the process of, like, you go through some kind of bullshit, some kind of trauma, and it's like, what the fuck? You tell me to get an umbrella, but you don't tell me that about this? And that's when, you start questioning them on that. That's when you find out, yeah, because that has to occur. You have to go out and experience that. That's what you're here for. So that is a part of your learning, And so, yeah, you're going to go through these things, but there's a reason for it. And then, you're in a, well, what's the reason? What am I supposed to be learning here? What am I supposed to be getting from this? And then you'll get certain insights and stuff. When you get more involved in your communication, things play out differently. I feel like there's just a huge group of people who never go that far. They just keep spinning out and spinning out over here. And but at this time, there is going to be a lot more synchronicities, and there is a lot more people that are being like, it's really weird. Like, I don't believe in coincidences, because there is no coincidences. Like, everything is exact in timing. Everything is set exactly the way it's supposed to be. And there's nothing that, it really is like nothing that we need to fear. Because even if it is, just a horrible, traumatic fucking thing of somebody getting taken by somebody and being tortured to death or whatever the fuck, the soul doesn't stay in there for that. Like, they don't stay in. It's up to the soul. Like, the soul. And I think, God, that hurt. God, swear to God, it's like a fucking punch. Because the soul can, okay, let me think what I was going to say. Because the soul can, okay, punch, soul, the information, when the soul starts questioning its own self, its own state of reality, but it still is like steps in order to go in that direction. Because it is, once you say, why is this happening? What is this for? Then you get shown more things. But everything is your own ability to understand your communication. God, something is hurting me. Hold on, I've been talking. Anyways, I think I've been on a direct thing today of explanation, but I don't know. Somebody yesterday said something about everything coming together, and I didn't know if they were talking about in the world, because it is all coming together. It is all going to come together, but it's coming together in a different kind of way. It's like coming together in a storm. So it seems like all this chaos, and it's like a tornado, but what's left, the remnants, is what we need. And so it is fuck, man, it is all going together in the way that we need it to go together. And then so it's letting, that is like this darkness all separating, but that is where each individual soul makes a difference, because you're holding on to darkness and you're carrying it. And unless you're willing to look at yourself of why it is you're carrying it, then you're bringing it forward, but it doesn't get to go forward, but you're holding on to it. And for all different reasons, for why people hold on to it. And some of it is validation and stuff. So that as it moves forward, if you continue to hold on to it, that's going to hold you back, because you're not going to be able to go forward because you're holding on to something that's holding you back. And so you got to understand about the energy and the vibration and what the purpose is of why it is you're trying to raise your vibration and let go of this shit. And it's because the room's vibration is changing, and you aren't going to be able to stay in the room unless you change to meet up with the room. And so that is what, we have all of these people, but that's where I see the valid point of your communication and being more in tune with yourself and what you're doing here and stuff. But don't get caught up in this. Like, that is this other teachings and stuff of cutting people out of your life, and the vindictiveness, and just the sitting because going into a time of reflection is not just focused meditation on affirmations to meet your requirements for your what is that thing called? Everybody's trying to do it. Everybody wants to get a big mansion and lots of money. What is that called? I don't want a mansion. I've never understood wanting a mansion. I've never understood that. Um, uh, I'd like a house, like a nice house or something, but I'm way more of like, I like a house. And then I would like kind of my own, like a guest house. So when people came to visit, they had their own separate, and then I would like a art studio. So I could go out and do art and work in my own place. And then I would like a barn that I had some animals in, because it's good for your soul. It's good for your soul to take care of animals and animals to take care of you, to build that rapport. And so it's not like you have to have a big working farm, but some animals, like maybe some rescue goats. I really want a donkey or a mule. Both of those things, when I see the videos, are just so fucking cute. Horses are cool. But I don't know that, because horses are very, very spirit animal. Like they're there to build rapport with people. And I mean, if Stella came back as a horse, I would want a horse, whatever she came back as. But I know I would like a cow. Cows are just cool energy. So, anyways, that I would like that. Like maybe it's like a mansion that's split off into pieces or something. But I don't want just one big giant thing like that. I don't understand that to me. And it seems kind of creepy, kind of haunted. Like, I don't know. It's kind of haunting. So, but we all have our different things that we look at and think like, oh, that's my dream. And and then going towards your dream. And then reality falling apart. And what is that? Because it's something about they're trying to, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I remember what I was talking about now. They're trying to manifest. So they're all trying to manifest their deepest desired life or whatever, which they all want. They all think that the answer to their life is a lot of money and a really big house. Well, who's going to clean the really big house? Like, if you have a lot of money, are you really going to want to just hang out at your really big house? Because I would think if you have a lot of money, you're going to want to go around and see other people's houses. You're going to want to go on adventures and stuff. That's way more of what I want to do. And then when you have a place like with a farm, like if you have animals and stuff, that's where, to me, I would have like somebody who also, like a family or something that is there, who works there. They work and they take care of things too. And then, and they get their own, like, I can see how that went down back a long time ago, because there was people who had more, and then they would give, the farmers or whatever, land to farm on and have their families and stuff. So they would give them some, but then the controllers, I don't know how it went, because I even saw this in this Vincent Price movie, this old Vincent Price movie, because he's one of the landowners, and then he lets these people farm it, and then he taxes the fuck out of them and takes all their stuff, and then the people start going against him. So that kind of thing played out. So the people who had the land and stuff, then they started being too much taking. But there's been time throughout history or at different times of people having stuff and sharing it. Like sharing, like, to me, there would be a benefit to have like a family or people or whatever who had, like, back on your land, they had their own house and stuff. It's not like that y'all have to all hang out together or something. It'd be more like their job, and then their life's back in this other area. And then, but you would still be friends, but it doesn't have to be so much like, I don't know. I think it was people build communities. They start feeling like it's got to be this cult kind of living, and we all have to agree together. We all have to sit and pray together or something. It's like, no, you can go live your life. We'll live our lives. Hey, you're in the barn at the same time. We're in the barn. Then we're all hanging out and talking and stuff, and we're all nice. But it's not like we have to be. You know what I'm saying? I just think everybody's got their own ways of setting stuff up. But we got so many people though right now who just think the answer to life is just get a bunch of money and get a big old mansion and a lot of fancy cars. Which I just saw this guy who had a Lamborghini, and he was coming out and is just all keyed up. He said, "This is the bullshit that goes on. You have these fancy fucking cars, and people get so irate about it that they go out and fuck your car up." And but these people think like, oh, that's the answer. Well, there's going to be problems with it. So you can think it's your answer, but you're going to find out there's problems. And there's even going to be the kind of problems where you start having a hierarchy, where you start looking down on these people who don't have what you have. And you think you're better than them because you've got more than them. And so, there's just such a shift in our consciousness. And this is what everything is happening for. It's a conscious shift in what we prioritize and what we believe in. And then all these different people, like it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna be like 100,000 people are gonna all of a sudden get mansions and millions of dollars, and then they're gonna be like, oh, well, this wasn't really the answer, but it could go that way. I don't know. There's this whole thing that's gonna be going down with this money thing. Okay, so on this thing about what was supposed to be going down, so there's this whole thing with the money thing that is going at the same time. There's a whole weird thing going on about these soldiers and different groups coming together. And I think it's like, it was North Korea and has sent their soldiers to Russia right now to work. Like, there's all this weird shit going on. Just like the BRICS is having a meeting to end the dollar and stuff like that. People got to realize, like, that the dollar is paper, and it's been manipulating the economy of the world. And so it has to fall apart. And so anyways, we're in the middle of that whole thing. And then the Blue Party is very much about controlling us. They've got all these, like the 2030, and everybody wants to worry about the 2025. It's like, you need to worry about the 2030. And that is theirs, and it's already been in the process for over 40 years. I think it's been in the process for like 60 or 70 years. Probably their whole fucking, it probably was the papers, it was the map of this new reset or something that they were going to do on us. And so when they're far deep into it, got tons and tons of kid killers now. They don't give a shit about family. Like, they've got things, they just want to create these super soldiers that have no connection to anybody or anything. And the oh, what was I saying? So whatever it was. So anyways, with the manifesting and stuff like that, where these people think, you just have to go in and just keep focusing and putting your mind on that to make it happen. And I just see it's so different than that. And so all these things are going to play out, though. Not something I need to go and argue with somebody. It'll play out, and then, we'll see. We'll see how people are looking at it. Because to me, it is that guy was, oh yeah. Okay, so was the, okay, it came back in for a sec. But to me, it is, what is it? Oh, like I fucking crashed of two things. I was saying one, and another one came in and hit in. I was like, oh, that's what I was going to say. And then it's like, okay, now I just lost them both. So the manifesting, the people who just stay focusing on that and think that they're making something. There's so much stuff that I think is such a distraction, such a waste of your energy and stuff. But the whatever it is, I don't know. Probably. Oh yeah, because it was something. Oh yeah, okay. This is what I'll say, and I'll finish with this because I'm all over the place. So they were saying that Kamala was going to come out, and they're all going to turn on her, and they're going to be jumping ship and going the other direction, and that and then there was like nothing. She didn't come out and speak. There was nothing going on. And old Donald, he's out there just doing the circuit, boy. He's out there just talking all day long. And saying all the things that we want to hear. All the things, getting everybody pumped up. He's like a cheerleader. He's like a cheerleader for freedom. To get us all amped up and like, we can do it. We can do it. Like, let's do this. And we're going to make America great again. We're going to fix it. We're going to do this. Like getting, I swear to God, he's like a cheerleader for freedom. And then, but he kept saying, where is she? Where is she? Why isn't she? And I heard she's not coming out tomorrow either. So there's that going, like if that's going to be the thing. And then there was supposedly Tulsi, who I think she is the governor of North Dakota or something. And she's come out and said she's dropping the blue or something. Like some of this stuff, like you don't even know if, because there's so many people making these fake videos. It's so crazy, like total fake news videos. But so that she was dropping the blue and going on to become red. And then I saw that North Dakota or something is going to be the first state that is not going to charge any tax, no property tax, no income tax, none of that kind of shit. But see, that's because taxation without causation, taxation in any form was made up by them. Like, so there's the only, the Nisargasar thing, the only tax there's going to be is if you buy new things. Like if you go buy a brand new thing, that there's going to be some kind of a low tax on it. But everything else is going to be not taxable because, that was just a form of enslavement. And to keep taking and taking and taking. And this is what they've done, like what I was saying, like in the Vincent Price movie. Like they've always done that. And then the more we get, the more they tell us we got to give them. So anyways, it seems that something's going on. And Donald keeps bringing it up. So something, and today, Fridays are always like, can be a big impact day. But it can also be a day where, oh my God, nothing happened. And then you go in through the weekend like, oh my God. But then Monday comes in hard. So, it's whatever, this is the part where you got to just keep reminding yourself, like, this is really happening. We're really going. We're really changing. We're going towards this new time on earth of living as free souls and getting to experience what it is to to live and to love. That's the thing, is like they've held us back from being able to really have real love. We're all going around in shit ass relationships because we're all messes. We're just a bunch of fucking messes. And then once we go clean up the mess, then we get to have the good stuff. So anyways, that's what it's all about. I'm telling you, it's all about you learning how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. So work on that, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.